So rather than reinvent the wheel, we say they got that going. We do what we do with the economics. We do what we do with the real estate.
Stay away from that cat, man, for life, because the cat is a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Cat had a property auction. You know what I mean? And I bought a so-called piece of land from the cat. Gave my $4,300, and he just get down. I've been trying to get at him. He texted me like one time, said he could meet him, and he never was there. And basically, he gave me the runaround. And I know mad people do the same thing too. You know what I'm saying? The whole time I'm thinking this dude was right as that, but I should have known. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't talking about nationality.
The only innovative thing that's taking place is the banner of post-traumatic slavery disorder, because that's what I credit a great deal of our stress from. So whether you lost your job, whether you lost your wife, or you lost your husband, whatever the case may be, and you're overwhelmed by stress or plagued by stress, in some form, shape, or fashion, at my discretion, I've accredited that stress to being a byproduct of post-traumatic slavery disorder. But the actual ailment of stress is going to be addressed from a legal standpoint with a therapy at my discretion from people that are licensed, that are New Covenant members, that are black.
Why do they call it a summons? Because this is a legal fiction. What do we mean by legal fiction? A legal fiction, or a person, or a legal person, or an entity is all the same for the word corporation.
Credited that stress to being a byproduct of post-traumatic slavery disorder. But the actual ailment of stress is going to be addressed from a legal standpoint.
Because this is a legal fiction. What do we mean by legal fiction? A legal fiction, or a person, or a legal person, or an entity is all the same for the word corporation.
Addressed from a legal standpoint with a therapy at my discretion from people that are licensed, that are New Covenant members, that are black.
You can't just say me I'm black. That means you're dead. Legally. I'm a black minority. I'm a person that's a black minority. Either way you go, you're locking yourself into some stuff you don't need to be in. You gotta learn how to disassociate yourself from the words that you've grown accustomed to using to identify yourself.
We want to help our people out, so we created that medical facility in Las Vegas, Nevada. We was actually supposed to open it up today, but this Million Man March was here today, so I pushed it back for the top of November. And I told Brother Inky, I got a place for you. Who am I to judge? I dropped out of school 10th grade.
The program that you have to be able to figure out whether it will go on the right lines, where the people will end up in a situation where they can be able to really control themselves. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, the people that take this local foundation and start stealing money because they won't be really educated to why it's a people's thing anyway. You understand what I'm saying? With no education, you have neo-colonialism instead of colonialism, like you got in Africa 9, like you got in Haiti. So what we're talking about is there has to be educational program. That's very, because if they don't have an education, then they're nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionless movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more. And before you know it, they'll be capitalists. And before you know it, we have Negroes here.
Stay away from that cat, man, for life, because the cat is a fraud. You know what I'm saying? Cat had a property auction. You know what I mean? And I bought a so-called piece of land from the cat. Gave my $4,300, and
you already know. On the fist. Alright, time a little off. Your out-of-hand coordination a little off. Some of you a little saucy. The after party ain't start yet. Y'all got wavy too early. Let's try it again. Out-of-hand coordination at the top of the fist. There you go. Let's do it again. Now this looks good. Let's go. I learned this from Sinetta. Black power! Black power! Black power! And I'm gonna do this one for Seti. Black power in this motherfucker. Alright, there we go.
Power to all people. We say white power to white people. Brown power to brown people. Yellow power to yellow people. Black power to black people. X power to those that we left out.
Bless that man for the work that he has done. But we cannot leave here to set him up and say, well, how come we don't have nothing after the march? As if some miracle was supposed to take place. You are the miracle. We cannot sit here and leave and go home without a report other than black people didn't fight when they organized.
You can't do something y'all black. That means you're dead. Legally. I'm a black minority. I'm a person that's a black minority. Either way you go, you're locking yourself into some stuff you don't need to be in.
But responsibility is our ability to respond. So we have a crisis here in the black community.
You can't do something y'all black. That means you're dead. Legally. I'm a black minority. I'm a person that's a black minority. Either way you go, you're locking yourself into some stuff you don't need to be in.
It's being gentrified. And it hasn't been a state that I've been to or a country that I've been in. I met my brother from the Nation of Islam in Canada, the last lecture I had in Canada, probably a month and a half ago or so. Gentrification is in process over there. As we are opening up a new store out there in Canada. We'll have it in like another 2 weeks.
Here we are at the U.S. Securities Exchange Commission website. I've typed in Canada and I'm going to enter search. We'll see what comes up here. There's Canada, the top #1 lists, listed as a foreign government. Click on this CIK number and up comes Canada, the foreign government, with a business address of the Canadian Embassy in Pennsylvania Avenue, Washington, D.C. Mailing address, Department of Finance, Ottawa, Ontario.
Because we don't have it in the community. We don't have nothing in the community teaching black men how to be black men.
You can't do something y'all black. That means you're dead. Legally. I'm a black minority. I'm a person that's a black minority. Either way you go, you're locking yourself into some stuff you don't need to be in.
So I'm asking, and I'm going to do it again like I did yesterday. I don't do a class without contributing. I got the first $100 on it. Listen, I don't live in Washington. And I don't live in Las Vegas. And I don't live in Canada. And the brother was there when I was in Canada. And after one class, I'm like, yo, we got to open up a store here. I don't play games. Wherever I go, the work got to get done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'm asking y'all, in humility, if you have $100, if you have $100, please raise your hand and put $100 in the basket and keep it real with your black family. Because we don't know if it's going to be our son or our daughter that be next to get murdered by these police. And we out here trying to figure out how to respond next when we have a program in place that prepares us to respond immediately in real time and politically so we can get them off our back. The only reason they're able to do this.
They don't have an education, then they're nowhere. You dig what I'm saying? They're nowhere because they don't even know why they're doing what they're doing. You might get people caught up in the emotionless movement. You understand me? You might get them caught up in because they're poor and they want something. And then if they're not educated, they want more. And before you know it, they'll be capitalists. And before you know it, we'll have Negro imperialists.